Am I the a-hole for canceling a date with my fiancé to attend my son's birthday? So I am 32 years old, have a 7-year-old son from a previous relationship. I share custody with his mom, and this year it was my turn to celebrate his birthday. I had been looking forward to it because my son really loves birthdays and gets so excited about planning the theme, the cake, and the games. He had been talking about it for weeks, and I knew how much it meant to him to have both of his parents there when possible. The issue is that the same day my fiancée, 29 female, had planned a special date night for us. Apparently, she had been organizing it for weeks and wanted it to be a memorable evening, since it would be the first official date night we'd had since getting engaged. I honestly didn't realize there was a scheduling clash until closer to the date, but once I saw it, I knew right away I couldn't miss my son's birthday. I told my fiancé that I wouldn't be able to make the date because my son's birthday comes first. She got really upset and said that I was putting her second. She accused me of still being tied down by my past and claimed I wasn't prioritizing our future together. I had to stop her there and tell her that my son is not my past. He is my present and my future. No matter what, he's going to be my priority on milestones like birthdays. She didn't take it well. She went silent for a while and later told me that she felt disrespected and unloved because I chose what she called a kid's party over what she viewed as an important relationship milestone. I tried explaining to her that it's not just some party. To a 7-year-old, birthdays are a huge deal, and I couldn't imagine not being there for him. Missing that would have broken his heart, and I don't think I could forgive myself for letting him down on his special day. The thing is, my fiancé is really an amazing person. I love her, and I know she loves me too. We recently got engaged, and we've been talking about building a life together. But I can't disregard my son's needs or treat him like an afterthought. That's not the kind of father I want to be, and honestly, it's not negotiable for me. In the end, my son had an amazing birthday. He was so happy, and I was glad to be there for it. But now my fiancé is still cold toward me, and I feel torn between the two people I love. Am I the a-hole for canceling a date with my fiancé to attend my son's birthday? Now for the top comments before reading the mini update. She knew you had a child. Rethink this relationship as she resents him. Could you not do both daytime with him, nighttime with her? I get off work at around 4 p.m. I went straight to pick my son up at his mom's place. We spent the rest of the evening at the movies and went bowling. I got back home at 9 p.m. I did earlier suggest to my fiancé that we could all spend the evening together, but she casually told me, "It's your son's birthday. You two have fun." OP, your fiancé resents that you prioritize your son. Please understand that adults never hide this well from children. Your son already likely senses this negative energy from her. She is supposedly going to be your wife and another part of your and his family. Why would she be marrying someone with a child but not want to celebrate that child's birthday? Please reconsider this marriage. Not the a-hole. There should be no compromising when it comes to your son. He should always come first. The sooner your fiancé realizes this, the better. If she's not willing to share you and understand your son comes first, then both of you need to reevaluate your relationship. I love my son. I wouldn't let even my fiancé come between us. Now that I've seen how she resents my kid, there's need for us to sit and have a talk as to where we're heading. I might have to cancel the engagement if in all honesty she feels she's more of a priority than my son. She's going to be horrible to your son. If she's this openly resentful about him now, you will never be able to trust her. There is no way she didn't know when the son's birthday was when she planned her special night. She was testing the waters. Now for the mini update. This post might have just exposed an immediate red flag I was too blind to see. Thanks to everyone for your input. It's about that time I canceled this engagement until fiancé knows that she'll forever be my second priority. My son will always come first. Next story. Would I be the a-hole for keeping my pet after my partner gave me an ultimatum to choose between them and the pet? Hey everyone, I'm really torn and could use some outside perspective. I'm 28 female and have been with my partner 30 male for about 2 years. I have a dog named Charlie, who's been with me for 5 years. He's not just a pet, he's like family to me. I rescued him when he was a tiny puppy, and since then, he's been by my side through a lot of ups and downs. He's loyal, loving, and honestly one of the most important parts of my life. Lately, though, my partner has been saying that Charlie is taking over my life. He feels like I spend more time and energy on the dog than I do on our relationship. At first, I thought maybe he was just exaggerating or having a bad day, but it's come up several times now. He's made comments about how much I talk about Charlie, or how I plan my evenings around walking him. A few times he's hinted that I should think about giving Charlie up. I brushed it off at first because I couldn't imagine seriously being asked that. But just last week, he sat me down and gave me a straight-up ultimatum. Either I choose him, or I choose the dog. I told him I couldn't just decide that on the spot. It's not a small choice. It's my partner, or the living, breathing companion who's been with me through some of the hardest moments of my life. Charlie is my emotional support and my closest companion. I tried to explain this to my partner, hoping he'd understand, but his response was, "If you don't pick me, I'm going to walk away." I understand he might feel neglected or even jealous of the attention I give Charlie, but I think it's deeply unfair to ask me to give up something so meaningful. I've even tried to involve him in Charlie's care, asking him to come on walks with us, help with feeding, or join in with training. He's done those things a handful of times, but he always acts like it's a chore, and in his mind, it doesn't make up for what he thinks I'm prioritizing. Outside of this issue, our relationship is good. We communicate well about finances, family, work stress, all of it. But this ultimatum has thrown me for a loop. I've suggested we try counseling, or at least talk through compromises, but he doesn't want to. So here's my question. Would I be the a-hole if I keep my dog and accept that my partner might leave? Or is it selfish to choose Charlie over him? Not the a-hole. Your dog was there before your boyfriend. Exactly. Charlie was with me long before my boyfriend came into the picture. It feels wrong to just erase that relationship like it doesn't matter. I'm really hoping my partner can understand that love for a pet isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Thanks for saying that. The significant other jealous of the dog/cat/whatever critter you had years before meeting them and issuing an ultimatum needs to be let go. If you'd married them and had kids, that partner would be jealous of the time, energy, and attention that young children need. Keep the dog. Get rid of the boyfriend. He is jealous of the dog and doesn't want to do counseling. Yeah, that's how I'm starting to feel too. It's really frustrating that he won't even try counseling or work on this with me. I don't think jealousy should come with ultimatums, especially over something so important to me. Thanks for the advice. It helps to hear it from someone outside the situation. Definitely keep an eye on your dog. It sounds nuclear, but make sure he's chipped and info is up to date. Give all the shelters in your area and beyond a heads up in case your pupper turns up. Needy cry babies can turn super psycho fast, and pets are easy targets. Next story. Am I the a-hole for not telling my best friend the real reason I'm not at his wedding? My 29 male was supposed to be a groomsman for my best friend, 30 male, as we've been tight since we were kids. This weekend, he's marrying his fiancée, 28 female, who I've known since they were dating long distance in high school. At his bachelor party last weekend, we started off at my place and transitioned to bar hopping, and by the end, my best friend was drunk, and the guys, all our mutual friends and some of his cousins, were egging him on to do a last kiss before marriage dare. For extra info, I guess, I'm not a fan of that custom at bachelor or bachelorette parties, because it honestly makes it look like you're being held hostage to marry the love of your life. Plus, it's just disrespectful to your partner, but that's just an opinion I have, and to each their own. But I knew my best friend shared it too. Still, I figured if it had to be, my best friend wouldn't do it, because I know he loves his fiancée very much. To my literal shock and horror, he turned around, grabbed, and kissed me. Not even a dumb peck. Like, he actually dipped me and held it for a few seconds until everyone was laughing obnoxiously. I didn't kiss back. I just froze and laughed it off when it finished. Later, I realized I wasn't having much fun anymore and bailed early, taking some of our drunker friends home with me. The next day, his fiancée first texted me on Insta, then on WhatsApp asking to talk, and then called me. She wasn't yelling or anything, but was just kind of awkward. She said she knew about the kiss, and that while she didn't love it, she was glad it was me and not some random girl. She said if he'd kissed another woman, she'd have taken it as cheating and dealt with it worse. I agreed and backed her point, saying I wouldn't have encouraged or allowed that. But at the same time, she admitted she didn't feel comfortable with me being at the wedding now either, because it would just be in the back of her head. I was admittedly stunned at first, and then mad, then upset, but came to the conclusion that it was her wedding at the end of the day and told her I got it and wouldn't go. She thanked me for understanding, but also asked me not to tell my best friend that she was the one who asked. I have already sent the text backing out, giving reasons regarding work, and my best friend was very upset and asked me if I could back out in any way. I freelance, by the way, and he knows this, so my lie wasn't a good one, and he went from upset to straight up mad at me for bailing out on his wedding day for work. All our mutuals have texted me in our shared wedding group chat and have asked me to reconsider, saying there's no way I'm skipping his wedding for work I myself manage. Some being harsher and some passive-aggressive. All very valid. Now I'm stuck looking like the a-hole when I was literally asked not to go, and also asked not to say that I was asked not to go. Everyone around me thinks I'm this a-hole for prioritizing work over my best friend's wedding, and I honestly don't know how to navigate this without losing people. Tell another groomsman why you're not coming. It will get back to the groom without you breaking your promise to the bride, who should not have asked you to keep that secret when you're taking the brunt of it. That's crappy of her. I also hate that peer pressure, just one last time thing for the record. Ugh. Screw her. She's forcing you to do her dirty work because she doesn't have the spine for it. That's a stupid tradition, and one I would have never followed prior to my wedding, or after for that matter. If she doesn't want you there, she needs to talk to her fiancé. Not call you, ask you to lie and create more drama in your life because of her fiancé's actions and her lack of a spine. I'd tell your friend and his fiancé a few things. 1. Drunk or not, what he did wasn't okay. It disrespects both himself, his fiancé, and you in one motion. 2. You don't appreciate how she tried to shift blame by being a sneak. And 3. I'd ask if there was anything behind that kiss. It seems awful interesting he chose you. I honestly think he chose me because I was the safest bet. I was sure he wouldn't kiss another woman in fear of disrespecting his fiancé, and I was the closest by, and also his best friend. But again, I didn't expect it because I thought he'd choose kissing no one instead of kissing me. Last story. Am I the a-hole for refusing to move out of the house I share with my brother and his wife? This will be a bit of a long story, but in 2012, when I, female, was 20 and my brother was 22, he moved to another city and started renting a small house from an elderly woman with 5 other students. Later, when I was 22 and my brother was 24, I decided to change my major and attend university in his city. During that time, the 5 students in his house became just 1, so I moved in. 2 more years. It was just my brother and me, and the old lady decided to move to America and sell the house. She asked if we wanted to buy it. The price was too good, so we didn't even think and said yes. And this is how the house became ours. In 2018, my brother met his future wife. In 2020, they married, and she moved in with us. The situation was a bit strange, but ultimately it didn't bother me. Like, we're not at home most of the time anyway because we're all working. But 2 months ago, my brother came to me and said we needed to have this talk. What did he mean by this talk? That I needed to move out. At first, he tried to claim it was for my own good and that I was too old to live with my older brother. But then he let it slip that he and Olivia were planning to have children, like at least 3, which led to, we want to redecorate your room for one of the kids. I immediately refused and reminded him that the house was also in my name. My brother said he was willing to pay me for my share, but I really need to move out. I said that if I had to move out, I would take all the things I had bought myself in recent years, which means about 70% of the kitchen, bathroom, living room, and generally common areas. My brother got angry and the conversation ended. I haven't experienced anything bad after that, and after a week, he even apologized for his behavior and everything seemed to be going well. Then, our father showed up last Friday. He was ready to help me pack my stuff and take me back to the family house. My brother and his wife were not home at the time, and when I told my father that I didn't know what he meant, he was confused and told me that he and my brother had been talking about it for 2 months, and according to my brother, everything was already sorted out. I ended up sending my father home, and my brother and his wife and I had a huge fight where they called me selfish. But I don't think I'm being selfish, like it's my home too. There are choices. Your brother and his wife are free to move out just as much as they are free to unilaterally attempt to bully you out. They are the ones with the issue, not you. They need to solve their issue themselves, not the a-hole. Wild how people forget that sharing a house means sharing decisions. If they want more space, they can go find it themselves. You're not the spare room, you're the co-owner. Right, and it doesn't sound like they have room to even have 1 or 2 kids now. Why would they decorate 3 nurseries when it's not even certain they'll be able to have one? And man, lots of people change their minds on big families after 2 LOL. From what I gathered, it's a 4-bedroom, OP in 1 room, couple in the second, and then 2 remaining. Sounds like she's only saying they want 3 specifically to kick her out. 3 rooms. We have 3 rooms, and one of them is the size of a closet. Doesn't matter. It is still your home. But be careful you don't come home one day with your stuff in boxes on the street and the locks changed. Be careful. Not the a-hole, but why don't you take the house, buy them out, and they can use the buyout money to get their own house. I can't just buy them out in my country if they don't agree first. Edit for frequently asked questions. Guys, I appreciate the advice, but I need to point out 2 things. First, I don't want to move out, and I don't intend to. Second, we're not in America, so a lot of American advice doesn't apply here. My brother can't just buy me out without my consent. I can't buy him out, and neither of us can suddenly demand the entire house be sold. But I also came here to ask, am I the a-hole, not for legal advice. Yes, I told my brother he can move out. No, he doesn't want that even if I pay him. No, I will not have a husband or children. Yes, technically my sister-in-law pays for some things. Yes, she's still registered at her previous address. No, she doesn't have any ownership over the house. No, I have no plans to reconcile with my brother now. I think the moment he involved our father was the moment that ruined the relationship for me, and that would require a proper, sincere apology from my brother. No, my brother never specified exactly how much he wanted to pay me for the house, and honestly, it doesn't really matter to me because I'm not moving out. No, I really didn't see it coming. When we bought the house, my brother thought he was gay. Then he came out as bi, but he still didn't want children. Neither did his wife. No, 2 women and 2 men cannot get married in our country. No, this house really isn't suitable for adding additional walls or dividing it into 2. Yes, technically, you could build a new floor or expand it. We have 3 rooms, one of which is the size of a closet, a living room/kitchen, and a bathroom. No, my brother's wife is not pregnant yet.